Welcome to Range of Reality, the podcast where we talk real world, personal safety, empowerment, and situational awareness. I'm your host, Jody Salerno. Before I begin this episode, I'd like to tell you about my sponsor. It's my sponsors that allow me to do this podcast, so please support them. If you ever have to defend yourself, the fight doesn't end when the threat is gone. Legal trouble, court cost, lost wages, it all adds up fast. And that's where the United States Concealed Carry Association comes in. They provide award-winning self-defense training and education, but more than that, they've secured liability insurance for their members that helps cover bail, legal fees, and other critical costs after an incident. Over 860,000 responsible Americans already have that backup plan. If you carry or just care about protecting what matters, visit uscca.com and see why peace of mind is part of being prepared. Again, uscca.com, or you can always jump over to my website, rangeofreality.com. Thank you for supporting my sponsor. Today, we're diving into a topic every parent and student needs to hear: staying safe on college campus. You know, freshman year is an exciting time, but also one of the most vulnerable. The key is not fear, it's preparation and it's awareness. And I want to start this podcast with a story. This story is about Janet. Early into her first semester, Janet attended a house party with her roommate. Janet was aware of the dangers college parties might present and chose to remain sober at this party. At some point, however, she realized she lost track of her roommate. Her roommate had been drinking, and a sinking feeling in Janet's gut told her that something wasn't right. In fact, it felt downright wrong. As she went looking for her roommate, she followed some sounds coming from a bedroom where she found a group of 4 boys laughing and carrying on. 2 of the boys had Janet's roommate half naked on the bed, yanking the rest of her clothes off. Despite her friend's protests and attempts to resist, they were still trying to rape her. Without hesitation, Janet grabbed the nearest boy, holding her roommate down, ripped him off at her, and yelled, "Stop." At that point, most of the boys froze at the sudden intervention, but one reacted by shoving Janet onto the bed. She rolled onto her back, responding with a few kicks to his groin and a strong kick to his face, then jumped back to her feet and ready to fight. By now, her roommate was able to get up, and they both made a hasty exit as the remaining boys stood open-mouthed at what just happened. As heroic as Janet's actions are, the situation her roommate found herself in is unfortunately common. According to a 2015 report by the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, 1 in 5 women will be raped within their lifetimes. And according to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, RAINN, that number jumps to 1 in 4 for college female students. These numbers are disturbing. They paint an objective fact that college, especially freshman year, is the most dangerous time in a woman's life. The vast majority of these incidents happen not in dark alleys, but in familiar places: dorm rooms, apartments, and parties. And that's why stories like Janet's aren't rare. They're painfully common. And that's why this conversation matters so much. You know, you might want to ask yourself, why is the first year of college often the most dangerous for young women? Because freshman year is the perfect storm. You have young women away from home for the first time. They're navigating new social circles. They're exposed to alcohol and party culture that they may not have been experienced with before, all the while trying to fit in and make friends. Meanwhile, predators know this. They actively target first-year students because they're more likely to be naive to social dynamics, less aware of risks, and eager to trust new people. It's the most vulnerable time, and that's exactly why preparation ahead of college is so important. So what can we learn from Janet's quick thinking and preparation? She stayed sober at the party. That gave her a clarity to assess what was happening. She trusted her gut when her roommate disappeared and went to check. She didn't hesitate to act when she saw a dangerous situation unfolding. And most importantly, she had trained for this. She had some idea of how to protect herself. Her response wasn't accidental. It was preparation. The big takeaway: you're not going to rise to the occasion. You're going to fall back to the level of your training. And Janet's story shows the power of being prepared before something happens. You know, we live in a world where, unfortunately, not everyone has good intentions. And while many campuses work hard to improve safety, the reality is no amount of cameras or emergency phones or patrol cars can replace personal awareness, and preparation. Dangerous situations happen fast, and students need to be empowered to make decisions quickly in that moment. Campus safety isn't something you can outsource. It's something that you build from within. Some of the biggest concerns today on campus are sexual assault, often involving alcohol or drugs, theft in the dorm rooms of their personal belongings, dating violence and unhealthy relationships, unsafe transportation choices, walking alone, late night ride shares, online harassment spilling over into personal encounters, substance abuse, impairing judgment and increasing vulnerability. And I'd like to add social media oversharing. When students post their real-time locations, they're opening themselves up to being targeted. So what are the most common mistakes that I see? Well, being unaware of their surroundings. They're distracted by their phones or their earbuds. They trust too easily. They assume new friends or acquaintances are safe because they seem nice. Don't trust. These people are strangers until you get to know them. Ignoring their gut instincts. They're brushing off that feeling that something is off. Listen, if you get the hair standing up in the back of your neck, listen to it, trust it. Your intuition is there to help you. It's there for a reason. They fail to lock their doors or protect their belongings. They're creating easy targets for theft or intrusion. Overindulging in alcohol or drugs, making themselves more vulnerable to predators. Not knowing or using campus resources, not having campus security numbers saved, not knowing where blue lights are, and not using safety escort services. The good news is every one of these mistakes can be prevented with a little preparation and awareness, and that's why I'm passionate about teaching this. Some of my top 3 to 5 personal safety tips for students living on campus would be: number 1, always lock your door, even if you're just stepping down the hall. Dorm theft and unwanted entry are more common than most students think. Your room should be a safe zone. Treat it that way. Be situationally aware when moving around campus. Head up, eyes scanning, earbuds down, put away, phone away. Predators look for distracted, unaware targets. Make it a habit to walk confidently and with a purpose. Get to know your campus safety resources. Where are the blue light emergency phones? What's the number for your campus police? Are there escort services in case you need them? Most students never take the time to find out, but you should. They're valuable resources that you need to know about. Build a tribe. Watch out for each other. Have trusted friends you check in with regularly. Go out together, return together. Safety in numbers isn't just a saying. It's a strategy. And trust your gut. If something feels off, if it's a place, a person, a situation, remove yourself. Your intuition is a survival tool. Never ignore it. Okay, so here are my tips for staying safe in parties, bars, or off-campus events. You want to stick with your trusted friends. Go together, stay together, leave together. Never leave a friend behind or let anyone get isolated. Guard your drink, always. Watch it being poured. Never set it down unattended. And if you lose track of it, toss it and get a new one. Stay sober enough to stay aware. If you choose to drink, know your limits and stay aware of your surroundings. Impaired judgment is what predators rely on. Plan your transportation before you go out. Know how you're getting there and back and who you're going with. Last-minute plans often lead to risky situations. And know where the exits are always. When you enter a crowded space, mentally note how you'd get out of it in an emergency. Simple habit. Life-saving in a rare moment when you need it. When you're taking these ride shares, confirm the car and driver match your app before getting in. Sit in the back seat. It gives you an advantage. And you want to sit behind the driver. Share your trip with friends or family members through the app. Trust your gut. That's important. You hear it again. If a driver gives you a bad vibe, cancel the ride and get out of that car. When you're walking, you want to walk confidently. Head up, aware. Walk with a purpose. Look like you know where you're going. Stick to well-lit, populated routes. Avoid isolated paths after dark. And you always want to walk with a buddy if possible. When you're on public transportation, stay near other riders. Not alone in the back of the bus or the train. Keep your bag closed and zipped. Have your keys ready before you get off. And know the schedule to avoid long waits at stops, especially at night. There's a lot of great apps or tools out there for campus safety, and I'd like to recommend a few of my favorites to you now. One would be WalkSafe. It's an app that helps plan safe walking routes and alerts others if you get diverted from that route. Moonlight is another app. Sends location and emergency alerts to police if you feel threatened. Circle of Six. Put 6 friends on this app, and they can be easily notified if you need help. Find My Friends or build in phone location sharing. Let a parent or friend see where you are at all times. And look for campus-specific security apps. Many schools have their own apps and alert systems. Their security numbers and emergency tools are all on it. Download it. Have it with you. If you find yourself in a dangerous situation, one of the most important things that you need to remember is, 1, you are your own first line of defense. You are your own first responder. Trust your gut. Act. Don't freeze. Remove yourself or draw attention. Call for help, and use your training if needed. Look, college should be an incredible experience, and it can be when students are prepared and empowered. Safety isn't about fear. It's about freedom through preparation. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with other parents, students, and friends. And don't forget, you can download my free college safety checklist at rangeofreality.com. Any product that you hear me discuss on this podcast can be found and purchased on my Amazon page. Additionally, I have products that are my personal favorites in terms of personal safety. Check the link in my description. Please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Don't forget to support my sponsor, United States Concealed Carry Association, USCCA.com, or on my website, rangeofreality.com. Until next time, stay strong, stay aware, and keep training.